It'd be a shame if we didn't get to enjoy it to the fullest extent at the Indonesia arena. But we have to rewatch this Booyah last shot out. In this case, the Booyah's final trip mine. Dude, just pure heroics from the captain of the kingdom. And he leads his empire to the first ever win. And how can you not be elated after that kind of victory?
And one thing that I was expecting, I mean, Dudes in the front lines, you would know he would cook. But I didn't see that nade being tossed out, being held, and I didn't expect it was a trip mine that he's cooking. So he's not just cooking, he's making a barbecue. He just started that fire, and the moment the Brim United went in, it just exploded in their face.
And that goes back to the habits of BRU of liking to take up space. And it's not to say that it's the wrong move, but it makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to choke out your opponents, eliminate the playing field that they have. And RQ basically played to that. They exploited the habits of BRU or any teams that are in a position of advantage, and they were able to really turn the tides around. You don't get to see moments like this often. We literally said that with Fluxo out of the picture, the window has closed for them. BRU has a chance. RQ might have stopped it. We can only find out when we checked in on the overall standings, but just to give those mathematicians out there a little bit of tease, here is the standings after Solara. 25 points for RQ Kazu, 23 for BRU, 16 for GOW, 13 for AG Global, 12 for Falcons, and the rest is single digit.
Yeah, seems like for Brim United, 23 points in there, and they might have achieved the champion rush condition. It was very close between them and Fluxo, and Fluxo, for twice in a row, denied, and what they had to do is just like either put so much in the early games and just let it go the moment that you achieve it, or just do the same play, and there you have it. Brim United Esports activating it with 1 point extra.
The Goliath effort from RQ Kazu not enough to stop BRU from having one step through that door. Even amount of points in eliminations and placement, 41 for elims, 40 for placement. BRU now at the precipice of winning the trophy. As a quick callback to spring season 2025, where they were the first one to be in that spot of power, and yet it was an Indonesian team, Onyx Olympus, that took it away. This time, they are back in the exact same spot, and BRU, God hopes that they close it out now.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, they might need a lot more than waiting, but let's see though on Booyah's team stats right now for RRQ. For Maal, he is wearing, that's Tyler, Moko, Maro, Suzy, and Arvin. Tack market for 2, Team Booster for 2, common tactics, and it has been pointed out by AJ as well. If you have 2 of the players for your team that has a tack market, it's possible that you can activate all 6 of those, or rather, Team Boosters, all 6 of those boosts, and it seems like that would be the plan for most of the time. But going into the damage, it is Zoots, who's brought in so much together with a Bay for the elimination, being taken by the sniper. 5 on elimination, 7 knocked down, and 2 on assist. 18 here seems like he is running out of breath and being a clutch game.
Yeah, we have seen RQ Kazu sort of experiment between ECAL and 18 Dia, and I think by general consensus is pretty agreed upon that 18 Dia has brought in more of that immediate impact. He did spend a bit more time with RQ Kazu than ECAL on the battlefield, but the game MVP, Maal, I think that new hairstyle is starting to pay off, right, with Lucky Charms. Maal bringing the magic to the grand stage. The past few World Series finals have been won by sniper players, and this reinforces, it fortifies the importance of that role in this game. Yago brought Magic Squad 2023, MT7 brought Fluxo 2024, and right now we're looking at the sniper stepping up to the plate again. But the good news is only BRU has a chance to win.
And well, for everyone else, all they have to do is deny BRU on grabbing a Booyah, and imagine 11 teams that might be able to do so. The same story as you were mentioning earlier, Spring burst into the goal, but still unable to make it through. But as we look into the highlights right now, those elimination as well as those shots being done by BRU in the early parts of this game seems like they are all in here to really catch up against Luxo. And not only did they catch up, but they did manage to activate the champion rush condition.
I mean, at the end of the day, we are looking at BRU's 3-year quest to reclaim the title, not just for themselves, but also for Southeast Asia. We also have talked to Wasana about his promise to his family, and he's still the crownless king. He has won a title, but we're not on that world stage. He hasn't achieved the apex of it all yet, despite being agreed upon that he is the apex, he is the gold standard. But you know how it is in modern times. You need achievements to back it up.
Yeah.
He's potentially one round away.
One round away to be the champion. And let's see on how the team has progressed all throughout to that final moment. And even a draw spot. I mean, keep mentioning about the hub wherein Brim United is slowly pulling away from the long approach and waiting game, but it seems like even the face of the circle is gearing towards them. No need to move in most instances, and they are still in that area. For RQ, though, the same story, but they have to go against TS, Team Solid, and PE Sports before this final moment.
Yeah, they were fending on multiple teams, and the odds are stacked against them. Right? It's a 3v4. RQ has been in this exact spot before, where they were down and they were not able to kind of come back from it. And they've been in a spot where they had the numbers, but they still sort of got clutched by an opposing team. Not this time though. Just went against the current and was able to give RQ Kazu another chance. Sadly, that other chance can only come true if everyone else bands together and, take out BRU.
Well, let's see if that would happen, but I can't take it out of my mind. Even seconds couldn't stop that trip fight from being triggered. I mean, it's not a throwable after all, so it's still in there. I guess that's why they have been dubbed the mastermind in Southeast Asia, because those quick adjustments, playing those tricks, the bait and switch, and then that now a trip mine. And I won't be surprised if a lot of teams will be using that in best timing if you know that your opponent, or if you bought some time like Mal, understand how your opponents are going against you and just time it to perfection.
I mean, he had to have the courage to make those distracting plays, right? I was careful, Mal, when he was sent out like that, but it paid off at the end, and we are going to Kalahari for game number 6. It could end here in the desert with BRU lifting the trophy, or we start spinning the roulette and hopefully go all the way to game number 10. Either way, Kalahari is RQ's stronghold, so maybe the Kingdom can now ride up that momentum from Solara and take game 6 to put themselves in the same playing field for champion rush condition.
Yeah, looking at past performance for Brim United, Kalahari, they are fourth from the bottom when we look at just the global final. So again, this might be a play we're in. Let's not show that much in this situation, and then they will not be targeted. But once again, Brim United has achieved and triggered that champion rush condition, and the only thing that they need right now is one booyah.
One booyah. And just like yesterday's conversation, the whole theme of the Clash Watch Finals, the finishing line is the hardest to cross. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. BRU has tasted that at the start of the year during spring. Look at that trophy. Oh my goodness. Just the radiance of it. Sitting right in center stage, and BRU aren't that far away from it, Same level on stage, they're closest to the podium. All they need to do is get the booyah, and they can just throw over, lift that trophy, confetti rains, and they are officially 3-time world champions. Oh, what a story to be told.
Or they can literally jump the fence, grab that trophy, run away. But how far can they run?
I don't know. I would support that idea wholeheartedly, but after being stopped from going back to our own talent room today, I can confidently say that security is pretty tight, airtight in fact. That's because though you can't really run away with the trophy unless you win it fair and square.
Yeah. Well, let's see though. I mean, I really love how the teams like earlier, Fluxo managed to pull away from all the tension, the cheer that's coming from the crowd, and they were there in that fight. Now it seems like those cheers of pressure is building up against them, especially when Buriram United is involved. And Buriram United, like not faced at all, tenure is on them, and also the hunger of being the next champion this time around.
Sometimes for a team that's been at the top, it's hard to find motivation to continue winning. BRU have sort of went through that phase, but I think what also drives them is the fact that they are no longer the most talked about team, right? People have sort of turned their attention away to Fluxo and also rising stars like Evo's Divine, RRQ, E1, R7, and then BRU becomes sort of just a part of the convo, but sometimes an afterthought. But they did what they always do. They remind everyone that they are still one of the best in the world. And only Fluxo has been able to match up against them in terms of world title achievements. But Kalahari could be the end point. We'll see if BRU can close it out based on the statistics. It's highly unlikely, but we've seen more impossible things happen. Let's hop into game 6.
Heated game in a heated map like Kalahari. All those ledges, all those high ground and open areas might be the downfall for those achieving or trying to achieve the champion rush condition, or also for Buriram United, who's very close to be declared as the champion. And I'm really excited on how the flight path is going to look at this point. If this is something that would throw off or skew that throw off those rotation as well as positioning, then that might be the chance that everyone else have against Buriram.
It was what you proposed earlier on, rolling the dice, and you know how desperate other teams to do so. Maybe when someone starts getting into the champion rush condition to win the whole thing, that's where you start getting a bit jittery. You know, then get a bit paranoid about what's to come. BRU though, in this Stone Ridge drop has sort of been a common spot. Are there any anomalies here?
Well, at some point, BRU is still on Stone Ridge, but we do expect that Fluxo would be very close. I was expecting that Fluxo, just to make sure that they are, like BRU is denied of that booyah, will go for the hot drop, but I don't think they will be risking it. Probably taken down AG. Coach Hill is already in the area, but SKS pulled out by Team SR, and we know that that can bring in the damage, but unfortunate for Team SR doesn't have any backup quite near to it.
Evos has also isolated Cypher, so it is going to be the all stacked against AG Globals, Russia, and Russia makes quick work of him with the Bison in hand. First blood for the White Tigers.
AG though managed to bring back Cypher. Time Turner being used. Aim God needs a little bit of top up and managed to weave in and out of that Time Turner, but it doesn't work. Team SR, Mini Uzi plus a P90 and Cochil back 10 in hand. Quick turnaround. Team SR still doing what they did yesterday into Battle Royale, and AG grabs 2.
If there's anyone who has doubted this kid from the start, your doubts are validated, but also proven wrong by what Team SR has brought to the global stage. Stepped up and also answering questions. AG Global continues the hunt. The staggered members of Evo's Divine picked up one by one. Deal will secure the 4th point for his team at Ohampton.
Oh, Rastia was eliminated a moment ago, and now Ray. Now one remains for Evo's Divine, and this might be it. They are close to being taken out, losing that opportunity as well to get that champion rush condition. But for Cypher, because of the noise that they made, seems like it has caught the attention of E1 Sports in Shrine. But Shrine and E1 is, they're not bringing that fire. They're not aggressing against AG, knowing for a fact that there's someone there. But those, even the other teams who are in the surrounding area, they're just being passive at this point, just aggression from a distance.
Just make you get scared a little bit. Teams that have been very consistent with their rotations, like BRU, AG, Fluxo, to some degree, have been skilled in avoiding combat in these early stages. And even if they run into it, they are very good at disengaging from it. It's advanced level of discipline that takes a lot of experience, decision making to achieve. But like you said,